Hi guys, hello it's MicheleMarieDalene, and today we're going to talk about something a little different because the topics that we've been discussing for the past few days are boring me to tears, So there's the topic today. I want to talk about my handicaps and maybe answer some questions that are not being asked, but probably should be asked. Alright, so let's start with the first one. Number one, let's talk about why I squint when looking in the camera. Like a lot of people do, I can't see distance with my glasses. I don't wear my glasses in camera. Okay, so unfortunately, my right eye is not exactly doing the best it could be. So, unfortunately, it means that every time I look at distance, I squint a lot. And that, of course, makes things harder. Next topic is Asperger's, a disability. I don't know if I consider it a disability necessarily in my case. I've always had Asperger's. I just didn't always know what it was. I was a kid. This is boring. But I don't see it as a disability. I just see it as a different way of thinking and the way I do things. Unfortunately, ask Dory what she thinks about some of the things I do. And people who do not have Asperger's have a hard time understanding people with Asperger's or high-functioning autism. Because we think in a different way. Diesel Ducey has autism. I can understand Diesel Ducey very good because of his interest in elevators and things like that. And Mr. Cat, you gotta get these mats in your fur. There we go. Yay! Big hair job. We did it. Yeah. So, ow! You see the claws. Yeah. My cat gets mad at fur balls. Alright, so anyway, so Diesel Ducey has, autism. He even said so himself. He has autism. And there's nothing wrong with autism. It's just the way we're wired, okay? Nothing wrong with that. Taco Man said to me, well, I could cure your autism in short notice. And I said, I'd really rather not. My autism, or Asperger's, is exactly who I am. That's me. That's my personality. It's my whole essence. If you really want to seriously fix anything, please work on my eyesight and my hearing. The two handicaps that have always been the biggest problem. Actually, I think my hearing is a more severe issue than my eyesight. But I'll be honest, it's really kind of a toss-up because I've always had bad eyesight all my life, so I never really had 20/20 vision. I never really had good eyesight. I think the closest time I actually had really good eyesight was for a short time in high school, and that was about it. And after that, nope. Nah, nada, zip. So, unfortunately, I don't consider my Asperger's / autistic spectrum disorder to be considered something that I need to cure. Okay, it's just me, just who I am. Hearing loss, yeah, that's something, like I said, I started getting that when I was, actually about 14, 15. And so, yeah, that's definitely, it doesn't look good with my Asperger's either, because Asperger's and hearing loss are not the best of friends. They do not go good together, okay? They're not like peanut butter and chocolate. So, it's really kind of hard to come up with a solution to the hearing issue and still deal with functioning autism and Asperger's. How do I feel about the fact is that Asperger's is no longer listed in DSM-4 or DSM-5 as a separate condition from high-functioning autism? Well, I got a feeling that, in one sense, so many people who have Asperger's are going to be going, oh, phew, finally I won't be pigeonholed into a box that some people can't understand. Another saying is well, wait a minute. I'm not autistic. I really want to be in autism. Some people think that way. And I know that sounds stupid, but that's the truth. That's what autism is. But as a person with Asperger's, I'm functioning autism. I have to see it. There's nothing wrong with being who you are. It's part of me. It's not going to change me. I'm not going to... You can... Well, they're saying science is finding a way to cure autism. The only thing is realistically, strip away the person's autism, you're taking away part of the personality. Okay? It's ingrained in my behavior from everything they do. That wouldn't be something I'd want to strip away. It's part of me. It's part of who I am. You know? I mean, it's the same with my eyesight, really. If you want to be honest about it. I mean, all my life, I knew since I was a youngster that my eyes were going to get worse. That's an age sense, and I didn't know that. It's my hearing loss that has always been more of a biatch. And the fact of the matter is my hearing loss only has a whole nother layer of isolation on top of my Asperger's, because it's the same deal. Now I'm sitting here and people think that I don't care, and that's not the case. If I understand you, if I can hear you, and I will be honest, if I think it's worth responding to, I will respond to it. But to say bluntly that I don't care would be incorrect. I do care, and, you know, just sometimes people with Asperger's only can tolerate so much before we flip out and, you know, start zoning out the world. Right now, for example, I've got a lot of emotional stressors in my life. Allow me to tell you about them. Number one, I am very, very, very depressed because of things I cannot discuss on camera. Because they're not meant for public consumption, okay? And the weather, of course, has been a little bit... Sure, it's been cooler than normal. Some people would say that, but I don't think it matters if it's cooler than normal. I mean, Pappy is a big as shit. Though it's only 75 degrees outside, Fahrenheit. What's that, about 23 degrees Celsius? Something like that. Be honest, that's really where... That means I don't have to run the air conditioner. It means I don't have to worry about wearing, like, clothes. I can go ahead and do my work and things like that. I kind of like that. But, unfortunately, I can't stress enough that summer is probably the worst time for me of the year anyway. If we make it through the summer, then I can, you know, get things to put together and get our budgets put together, put some money back in the bank. Whenever the YouTube Creative Grants comes in, we can go ahead and start doing a lot of things. Since obviously my electric bill is a YouTube channel expense, I probably can pay that and not get too many YouTube Creative Grants biatching too badly. I don't really want to go into a lot of discussion about the YouTube Creative Grants because that's part of the reasons I'm suffering depression. Seriously. But I can tell you is I got a couple ideas for equipment, and as soon as Tina sends me a copy of the terms of service that I asked her for, I can read through them and see how likely it is that some of my ideas can come to fruition. If they're not acceptable and they can't come to fruition, and I need to come up and do it differently. Okay. Now, what's it like to have Asperger's? Well, you're asking a person who's had it all their life. why do you collect weird stuff? Why do people with Asperger's sometimes act unusual? I don't know, we just do. And for us, it's as normal as normal. You know, I know it makes any sense. I'm just saying that's the way we see it, you know. I mean, for example, Diesel Duty likes to collect elevator buttons and controls. And me, I don't collect elevator buttons and controls. I have my own interests. But they're different. But it's just who we are, you know, and it's who makes us the way we are. I mean, there's nothing wrong with people with Asperger's or autistic spectrum. We're pretty smart. We're not stupid. Trust me, I'll sit there on a computer, and I gotta admit, thanks God to the internet, this makes it so easy. I can sit there and suck data, just suck it down, download manuals, download graphs, download charts, download this, download that, and then just sit there right there in front of the computer, man, and no wonder my eyes hurt after a while, and just stare and stare and stare at numbers and figures and how this works, how that works, what's the recommended maintenance procedures, whatever it is I'm doing. And that's what I did for the looking at some of the YouTube equipment being offered, such as the Roland V4EX versus the older V4 versus the older V-8. Same thing. I went through and I looked at all the specifications to determine what would be a good choice of equipment for my YouTube channel. Really pretty impressive to think about. But that doesn't always mean everything is going to come. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out there and buy everything. Okay, that's one thing Aspies don't do. We don't just go out there and buy every piece of kit we see. Most of us are not spontaneous. We plan inexhaustively to the point where we basically wear ourselves down. So, for example, when you're talking about like with the money, okay, the typical person will go, okay, $5,000. I'm gonna buy this, 3 of those, 4 of those. Okay, $5,000 spent. I'm done. Us, we're sitting there, and it's like we're reading the manuals, specifications, data sheets, every possible review we can get our hot little paws on, especially with the expensive thing like the Roland V4EX. Sit there, review the manuals, review the data sheets, look at the hardware compatibility, determine what can plug into what, then we ask ourselves, is this worth the price? And then we start looking at other stuff by the time we're done. That's just the way we are. That doesn't mean that we're bad people, because we're, in fact, a lot of people with Asperger's are penny pinching, very, very particular about what we want. Because we don't like to throw good money away after something that could end up being a giant albatross. Think about it. I showed you that one mixer from China. It looks cute, but I'm not looking for cute. I'm looking for functional. It's a 2-channel. It says it right there in the instructions. It's a 2-channel mixer. It has loop out, which is kind of mad. I like that loop out, which means I can send it right out, right back out to the camera. And so does the Roland V4 or V8. So that's a feature I really like, is the loop out function. So I can send the video back out to the camera instead of going, gee, is this gonna work for me? You know. Hey, money's tight, you know. $5,000 doesn't last long, especially when you're buying everything including the kitchen sink. Ask some people who go hog wild with $5,000. I'm not saying I haven't done it too. I have, but this time I'm trying to be a little more educated about it. I'm also going to deal with a lot of high, regular, everyday utility expenses. People don't realize it. But summertime, air conditioners on, the bedroom, the electric bill is up to like $40. I own $40 in the hole. The electric bill is not going to get paid in full, okay? Unless I can get the renter's rebate, the money. Get the money, or I can get to the Berkeley Fund again in August. Talk to Lauren Bissett, say, look, I need to reapply for only one bill, the electric bill. Screw the others. I know she says, she told me, she said, but Michelle, I asked her, said that, she said, but the program is only for emergency circumstances. It doesn't sound like meets that qualification anymore. And you know what, Lauren? You're doggone right. It's not like I'm still trying to be a cheapskate or something, but things are not healthy. They're not healthy because I got more expenses than I have income. Okay? And that can drive anybody over the deep end. But anyway, the thing here with Asperger's, like I said, is that, we're good people. A lot of people with Asperger's are, some of them are extremely honest. We believe in following rules. We don't like when people cheat. Oh yeah, when it comes to reality is, sometimes we can't understand when people cheat. So, sometimes we don't understand the people's like Maxine Waters and all the dishonest crooks out there. Because we can't understand dishonesty, really. It's just not us. I'm not a crook. I believe in following the truth and following the law and doing my best. And even though they said I don't have to, I'm going to send them a copy of every damn receipt I use. For every time I buy something on PayPal with the money, they're getting a receipt. That way they know I'm not bullshitting. That means they can see I'm buying it for the studio. The only one I might have a hard time getting a receipt for is the electric bill. But not that it's hard to get a receipt. It's just that, it's an operating expense. And I do have plans to consider hiring an employee to help me out with this. So yeah, people with Asperger's are very honest for the most part, and we try to do the right things. But it doesn't take much to basically cause us to roll up and shove away like a shrieking violet. Sometimes we can only handle so much. Certain noises will send some people with Asperger's running for the hills. Some people, sometimes Asperger's can only have can deal with so much social contact before it's, get me the hell out of here. I do not like crowded rooms. I do not like being in large groups. I like small groups, like maybe the soup kitchen to Winston is kind of small. So it's a small group of people. I know pretty much almost all of them by name. They know me. I come in, I eat, and they're happy, and I'm happy, and there's no problem. But when I go to a place like the Torrington Symposium, for example, which is even bigger, more crowded, and louder, and echoes, and the sound is booming off the walls, and the people are all packed and really close to each other at the tables, my anxiety goes, and then it's like, can I get a private table somewhere in another place? It's kind of really don't want to be around that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the reason why people with Asperger's don't do great in big crowds. There's a lot of good Asperger's sufferers who are writers and creative people, but when it comes to certain circumstances that affects them, causes or stimulates them, they basically just, like I said, they just don't want to be around that. They don't like huge crowds. They like to work with small groups of people. Now, I'm going to, of course, say it's Saturday and it's hot. It's humid again. And tomorrow it's going to be hot and humid again. And it doesn't end until September. So, whatever money you could donate on Patreon to help us, but if you could become a monthly Patreon, it would be great. On Patreon, so easy. All you have to do is just become a patron to help us pay the electric bill and phone bill. And if you want to donate money through the support tab here on YouTube, you can do that too. And if you're wondering why there's a little blue square in your browser that says subscribe and ASQ, if you click on that little blue square, it brings you right to my channel where you can subscribe, and click on the bell too so you receive notifications. And then you always will know and always will see the new videos come out. That's so easy. And it makes things a lot easier for everybody else. But for the time being, I want to thank you for watching this, and I will talk to you soon. Okay? Bye-bye, everybody.